Today we're going to dive into 5 tips of staying healthy over Christmas and New Year. On this channel we've spoken about mental health and spiritual health and emotional health, but we haven't quite covered anything on bodily health yet. I'm not a nutritionist, but I'm old enough to know what habits work over Christmas. So I'm going to be sharing with you my tips of staying healthy and well over Christmas. And if that's something that interests you, keep watching. You know, over the years I've fallen into the bad habit of overeating in the festive period, and it's so easy to do when you are with friends and family and you're so excited about being together. It's just so easy to throw caution to the wind and just eat anything that's in front of you and eat absolutely everything in sight, not to mention drinking as well. And very often over the festive season we don't tend to exercise or even rest. Sometimes we can stay up late and really enjoy ourselves and then sleep in, and then the day is nearly done, so we don't end up exercising. And we find that after the Christmas season into the new year that we're feeling quite ill, and a lot of people do get ill. People suffer from hot colds and flus. People suffer from exhaustion even. People want to go away for a holiday to recover from the holiday. But there's some things that we can do to avoid that. There's some easy things that we can do. Just a little bit to discipline ourselves a little bit so we can stay healthy and we can stay balanced over the Christmas period and over the New Year, so you can enjoy it more. And then when you come through the other side and you have to get back to your normal routine, that you won't get ill, that you'll remain healthy and well. So these tips are quite simple, and I've got my little doggy here who wants to get up on my lap, so I'll just put him on my lap. He keeps wanting to come up, so that's okay. I don't know whether you can see him there, but this is Pepsi. Okay, he's settled now. And the first one is to plan your meals. Now this is important because, as I've already said, we can end up just eating any old thing, eating at any time of the day, and really regretting it later, particularly if you have dietary requirements. Like me, I'm not celiac, but I'm gluten intolerant, and many people are celiacs or they're diabetics, and they have to really be careful with their diet. And but even if you don't, and if you want to stay healthy, it is really good thing to plan your meals at least a week ahead. And this is easy if you know exactly what you're going to eat when you go to that wonderful party to celebrate, or on Christmas Day. If you know what you're going to eat, then you can plan around that. But if you don't, what happens if you turn up at a party and there's a myriad of foods there and you just want to eat all of it, and you don't know what to do because you want to remain healthy but you want to have some fun as well? So what do you do in that respect? You can't plan ahead, so what can you do on the moment in a knee-jerk reaction at that time? The best thing to do is to avoid anything that's sugar-based. Anything that you might think have a load of sugar in it, avoid it completely. There are many really scrummy foods that don't have sugar, and go for the salads, go for the meats if you're a meat eater. If you're a vegetarian, go for any vegetarian options that might be available. But avoid sugar, because sugar is going to rise your blood sugar level and to make you hyper, and the more you eat sugary stuff, the more you want sugary stuff. And then you're going to feel absolutely dreadful the next morning because you're going to be on this sugary high, and then all of a sudden you'll be plummeting down. And then it's not really good for your mental health and your emotional health, and it's just going to make you feel yucky. So that's the first thing. You're seeing all this big beautiful buffet and everything in front of you. Avoid anything sugary. What else can you do if you turn up at a party or at somebody's place for a meal and you don't know what is going to be there, and so you really can't plan anything? Well, learn the magic word, and it's difficult, is no. If somebody offers you something and you know that is not healthy for you, say no, thank you. Not for now, thank you very much. You can either say no, I don't eat that, or you can say no, I'm a diabetic, or you can say no, I can't eat gluten. And so people won't bother you again if you qualify why you're saying no. You can say no, thank you, no, not tonight. But be polite, be happy, but be adamant that you're not going to eat a certain thing. I've been down in sit-down meals, and I have opted out of the dessert, for example. You can do it. You can, if you do it politely, and if people care and love for you, and they love you, they're not going to get offended. They're going to understand that you just don't want to eat that dessert right now. So learn that magic word. It's no. And it's, as I said, it's not offensive. You can share, you can say no in the nicest of ways with a lovely smile on your face, and say I appreciate that very much, but no thank you. So planning your meals is important if you possibly can. And so when you do plan your meals, write them down, and I've got a little book that I use so I can refer back to what I've eaten the week before. I don't like eating the same thing every day and over again every week. I like variety, and so really writing things down and planning ahead is a real plus, so I can keep varieties in my meals. The second thing you can do, tip number 2, is to drink plenty of water. Now, you can go on to Google and you can put in your height and your age and your body weight, and there's some app somewhere, some website somewhere that will tell you what is recommended of how many litres of water a day you should be drinking. For me, I'm almost 5 foot, not quite, and I'm I don't know what it is in kilos, but I'm 8 stone 12 at the moment, and I should be a bit lighter. But for my height and my age, and I'm 66, that I found that 2 litres of water is enough to keep me hydrated. Now, it doesn't include tea and coffee, because both tea and coffee have caffeine in them, which are good in small amounts. There's nothing wrong with that, but caffeine can dehydrate you. It won't hydrate you. I remember my grandmother Rose in Australia. She used to drink copious cups of tea because she says that she was thirsty, but obviously she didn't know that in fact that those cups of tea were dehydrating her even more. And particularly if you are a sugary drinker, sugars will dry you out. Anything with salt will dry you out as well. Although we do need a little bit of salt in our diet for our electrolyte balance, that is really important. But to overdo it will dehydrate you. So watch what you drink. And of course we know that alcohol on all levels is dehydrating. So over the festival season, if you're a drinker and if you're a social drinker, you may drink a little bit more than you usually do. And that's okay. You're at a party, you know, you want to enjoy yourself, but just watch that dehydration factor. Usually the rule is 1 glass of water to 1 glass of wine, or 1 glass of spirits, or 1 glass of beer, because that water will help to replace the fluid that you would have lost during your drinking. And so as I said, 2 litres for me a day. Of course, don't do it all in one go. You'll make yourself sick. I know people that have tried to guzzle it right down in one go, and it just won't make you feel good at all. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to feel awful. And you spread it out over the day. I drink better from straws, so I have either a bottle that I drink out of, or a glass with a straw in it, and then I'm quite happy with that. On occasion I put a bit of lemon juice in, or I put chlorophyll, and that's okay, because neither of those are in small quantities dehydrating. They're natural, and they can just add a little bit of flavour to your water. So that's the second tip: stay hydrated. We're going to have a look at those other tips in a moment, but I'm just wondering, what have you found works for you in regards to planning your meals? And indeed, what works for you when you find you go to a party or to somebody's place for dinner, and you're confronted with these foods that you really don't want to eat, or you want to eat and you know you shouldn't? How do you deal with that? And also, let me know down in the comments in ways that you consume water, and how it is best for you to learn to create the habit of drinking water. And we can learn from each other. I love to read your comments. Tip number 3. And I can never do that. I've said before, I've got arthritis. I shouldn't put my fingers up. I'm going to just put them up on the screen, I think, because I can get to 1 and 2, but 3 is a little bit difficult. And even for me, I need to look after my health too, and make sure that I'm eating the right things, because it does affect osteoarthritis that I have. But this 4th tip that I have, let's get to that. This 4th tip is intermittent fasting, is short bursts of fasting. Now, there is, again, you will find a lot of books and websites on that subject. So before you embark on any kind of fasting, I really advise you to learn about it first, and to learn if it is good for you, because sometimes if you're on medication, or if you've got some other condition, fasting is no good for you. So you need to do some of your own research before you embark on any type of short bursts of fasting. But for me, I found that just stopping a breakfast, for instance, people go, oh, you can't do without breakfast. Well, some of us don't get hungry in the morning, and if I'm not hungry in the morning, I won't eat. And that is the best time for me to do that short burst of fasting. I may have eaten a lot and the night before, because I've just been to the Christmas party or the New Year's celebration, or to that Christmas dinner at families. And so the next day I just won't have breakfast, and so my body will fast from the night before till the lunchtime of the next day. And ideally I try to make it a 12-hour if I can. And I do that on a regular basis throughout the month, and I find that it really helps me to maintain my weight, the weight that I want to. And but it's not about, and I want to say, it's not about binge eating and then having nothing. It's like binge drinkers. You know, people can go for drinking all week and then just binge drink on the weekend, and those people can become alcoholics, and it's really bad for them. With food, it's the same thing. Binge eating and then fasting for long periods is damaging to our health. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about skipping a meal. But when I say fasting, I skip a meal, but I have a bulletproof coffee, a keto coffee, which is a bit of MCT oil, and I put a bit of collagen powder in there, and then I whiz that up, and I have a bulletproof coffee, and that fills me up, because it does fill you up, and it just gives me a little bit of sustenance, but I haven't really got the calories, and I haven't got the solid food, so my body is in a resting state. So I really, this video, I want it to be a short one, so I don't want to go into all of the benefits and the negative parts of intermittent fasting. It's not intermittent fasting at all. It is, I don't know, why do I get all my words and mix it up? Short bursts of short fasting, and please research it, but it's something. I just put that out there for something for you to consider. The last one was the third point. Got that mixed up, didn't I? Now we've come to the fourth point, and that is for exercise and a workout. And it is really important to exercise your body, particularly over the festive season. It's so easy just to lay in bed or lay on the couch and just veg out. And it's even easier when you're in a colder country like I am, and the winters can be really cold, and Christmas and New Year can even have snow, and we don't want to really go out. But we need to move our bodies to use up the calories that we've eaten. But not only that, we need good mental health, and exercise raises those endorphins, and the happy hormones to make you feel happy and not sluggish. So even if you run up and down the stairs a couple of times and get your heart raised up to 120 beats a minute for 15 minutes, that would be enough to raise your body, to give your muscles and your ligaments and your tendons a bit of exercise, let them stretch. You know, sometimes we get up out of a chair and feel stiff because our ligaments have shortened, and so they're like rubber bands, and the ligaments, and they need to stretch. I get up at the chair and my knees hurt because I've got no cartilage left in there, all in my shoulder, all in my fingers. But even more reason why I should be moving, because if I sit for too long, if I don't move, I stiffen up, and it just makes you more miserable. And I want to stay healthy over Christmas and New Year, so I make sure that I do my regular workout, and I've bought a treadmill, a very under-desk treadmill. I'll make another video and show you my gym equipment that I have, and it's very small, and it just sits next to my desk. And if it's raining and I just can't take the dogs out for a walk, and I can't get out there at all, I just hop on the treadmill and then put my step watch on my Fitbit on, and so I can record my steps, so I can get a bit of exercise that way, and I feel much better. So it's really, really important to move your body, to exercise. Now, the fifth tip, I can do that with my hand. The fifth tip is an easy one. It's sleep and rest. But is it? Is it easy? I remember when I was a young mum, and I had 4 toddlers, and I had family around for Christmas meals and celebrations at New Year. I never rested. I was always on my feet. I would have very short sleeps because I had to get up early in the morning to doing cooking. So I really encourage you, particularly young mums or others or if you're caring for a loved one, to make sure that you get plenty of sleep and rest, because we know that the healing time is when we actually sleep, is when your liver renews, and lots of other parts of your body, and your brain renews and becomes more alert and has that rest. And of course, resting during the day, put your feet up. Even if it's for 10 minutes, put your feet up and have a real rest. And because you're a human being, you're not a robot. And stop expecting so much of yourself. You can have a lovely time, and you can help everybody else have a lovely time as well if you also look after yourself. So those five tips are: plan your meals a week ahead if possible. Consider and research short bursts of fasting. Stay hydrated, and daily exercise, and get plenty of rest. Well, if you enjoyed this video and if it was some help to you, please like and subscribe, and to tink that bell to get notifications. Please comment, as I've already said, and please share with somebody who may benefit from this video. Down in the description box you'll find a lot of links that will lead you to different places that can help you, to my website and to my books, to my courses, and there's something down there that you might find of interest and to help you over the Christmas season, indeed all the year round. This is a brand new channel, and I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and so please subscribe to help me to do that. Well, as ever, I've enjoyed your company, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye for now.